Okay, so let me just pull this up. Let me get my lights on. Just to ensure that I'm streaming, I want to make sure everyone can hear what I'm saying, because for the past 30 minutes, 30 minutes or so, probably more than that. Yeah, I am finally live because this was terrible. Unfortunately, the internet, my computer, I honestly don't know what happened. It just decided not to work. But it's finally working now, and I'm happy about it. So let's get right into this stream and talk about what we now have as Hurricane Blas. I know the thumbnail still shows Tropical Storm Blas. I'm going to have to update that here after the stream because I don't really like it. We do have Hurricane Blas. Maximum sustained winds are at around 75 miles per hour. And as you can see, OBS has already stopped working on me. Okay, this is fun, right? Video deactivate. Activate. Okay. Freeze on me again. I don't know what to say. So I'm going to pull up WSV3 and just sort of talk about what we could really see with this system. It is now a hurricane with winds of 75 miles an hour, and it could peak as a strong Category 1 hurricane with winds of up to nearly 90 miles per hour. So this could be another, this is going to be another fish storm, thank God. Unfortunately, this is going to be another rough, no. There it is, Hurricane Blas. There we go. Blas with winds of 75 miles an hour. Alright, let's pull up some satellite here and just sort of talk about what we're looking at with this system. Again, I do deeply apologize that we weren't able to stream when we were supposed to stream. So I'm going to pull this up and try to get this second mesoscale. What? Oh, okay. It was working on rapid mesoscale. Is honestly the best when it works where you want it to work, if I'm being honest. And it's just not working where I want it to work right now. So let's get in and talk about this system, this hurricane I should say. And I think if I do Control T, that will allow me to do this. And then I do this and this. Perfect, okay. So actually I want to put this into motion. Click play. And just talk about a little bit of the storm. So as y'all can see right here, here's the center of the storm right here. We are seeing some of these outer bands in this part of the storm starting to move in this general direction. And we're going to start seeing some more outer bands out here. Maybe some few spit-up tornadoes. Really, I'm not expecting us to see anything super crazy. No, storm surge isn't really a big threat. One of the biggest threat I think is definitely going to be those rip currents. Heavy flooding rain from this, but right now this is what we're looking at. It did get a little closer. You can kind of see him up here, and now it's starting to traverse away from the coast of Mexico continuously. I don't think this is going to be a massively huge, crazy, it's not going to be a direct impact at all. Again, this is mainly going to be a storm that is just going to bring a lot of heavy rain and flooding. Nothing that we have to worry about in terms of direct impacts. No storm surge, no hurricane force winds, even tropical storm force winds aren't even that likely because of how far away from the coast it is. I do want to check on what the wind field actually is. So here's this. Okay. So you can indeed see that it is expected to become a Category 2 now, as you can see, with those winds reaching 100 miles an hour, gusts of 120 miles per hour. So this is expected to actually become a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane now. As you can also see, if we turn on the wind radii, you can in fact see there is. So you can see right here, mainly to its south and to its west of the center of circulation, you do have a little bit of hurricane force winds. This is a 50-knot wind field, 58 to 60 miles an hour roughly. And then this is the tropical storm force wind field roughly. And it's a relatively compact system. I mean, just look how far that is from the coastline. So I really think that tropical storm force winds really aren't going to be a big impact. However, I do think flooding, mudslides, and landslides are going to be the biggest impact with this system. In those higher mountains, you're going to get these rain bands moving over those mountains, those high mountains, up to around 5,000 feet up. That is in the lower level of the atmosphere. All right, they're puncturing the lower level of these rain bands, which is about 5,280 feet to 850 millibar level of the atmosphere. When that happens, it's going to rip the insides out, basically, and squeeze out all of that moisture and just cause a huge amount of flooding. And that is why when storms over mountainous regions cause so much devastating flooding, is because those mountains basically rip out the bottom of the storms and squeeze out all that energy, causing lots of flooding to this entire portion of Mexico. And then also down here, we're also going to see a lot of flooding in that part of Mexico also, and Central America, mainly because we're going to see another system try to develop. And that's something we're also going to be closely monitoring and keeping a close eye on. But yes, in fact, we do have the hurricane. I do want to oh, there it is. Woodward. So here is the advisory. Maybe. Okay. Okay, it's not working. But that is what we have with this. I do want to point out the fact that this system over here has made landfall right here. Not what I was trying to do. So you can see it right there. If anything, it's going to have to move back over the water and try to regain some intensity and try to do something like that. But if anything, it's probably just going to do something like this. The high pressure is going to be suppressing all of this energy down, and there's be drier and sinking air, and we also have a little bit of dry air coming in from the Saharan desert from Africa, moving in that direction. That is the worst air anyone has probably ever seen. Coming in like this, something like that, and also, so it is still a large region of broad area of low pressure, cluster of thunderstorms. Nothing super crazy. We do have this system down here. I do want to change up the satellite a little bit. And here's that hurricane. Very, very high cloud tops. One object downloading. So now that this is all working, I am going to go to the internet somewhere. Google Chrome. That works great. I just want tropical turbulence. So here we go. Thank God. There it is. Hurricane Blas. There you go. Those winds there at around 65 knots, about 75 miles an hour, 988 millibars. Yeah, here it is. These are the latest. These are intensity models. And what you want to look for is really what do the most of the models show. Most of the models show it kind of comes up. It makes it a category 2. And then it kind of dies off. These outliers up here, don't worry about them. You want everything to be nicely kneaded. You want everything to be in a general idea. The general idea is it's going to continue to intensify, possibly reaching a low in category 2 with 100 mile an hour winds, and then just weaken off as it moves off into a, I'll have to look at sea temperatures, but I assume cooler water temperatures. Okay, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to just turn off my camera because this is not working. This is making me angry. Alright, yeah, I really don't know why my camera keeps doing that. Yeah, I connected on there.
Are you on screen?
Yeah.
Okay, how long it's gonna take you? Because I gotta work too.
I'll finish up soon.
Like, so I can't sit there. I'll be right away.
Well, the light will be in your face.
Well, so that I can look down.
Okay.
But if I'm not on your camera.
You should be on the camera.
Okay, why don't you take a bite?
Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully everything works properly. Okay, we're good. So this is what we have with this system. Intensity wise, it's not going to be anything to worry about intensity because it's not going to be impacting land directly. This is really going to be a big flood event for Mexico. You can see where this is going in this general direction. There are a few islands that are in the cone of uncertainty. These small islands, I assume, have a population. The biggest threat, if anybody does live here, are going to be storm surge, heavy rain, and winds. At that point, it should be weakening to a tropical storm. However, I do expect there to be swells, even in Cabo San Lucas, there in the Baja California Peninsula. And there could be big swells, storms, I wouldn't say storm surge, but I would definitely say big swells and strong rip currents. Good, I guess, if you want to do some surfing. Here's the latest satellite imagery of Hurricane Blas. Winds are 75 miles an hour. It is expected to continue to intensify and probably reach Category 2 intensity of 100 miles an hour. So as you can see, near the center of circulation, there is a lot of deep thunderstorm activity, lots of deep convection happening, lots of lift occurring in the atmosphere, lots of rising motion. There's a lot of thunderstorm activity going on right now. And that just pretty much just shows. I'm just going to turn my camera off because it keeps freezing on me. Okay, so that's what we have with this storm. Pretty incredible on satellite imagery. And then this is visible high resolution, as you can see. It's looking much healthier on satellite. As we keep on getting consistent thunderstorm activity, is when we're going to see this storm continue to intensify. But enough about this storm. I want to talk a little bit more about the flooding and the heavy rains, and then kind of go on to severe weather, because later on we are going to talk about severe weather, because that is going to be a problem here in the future. Oh, the system out here between Florida and Bermuda. That's not a convective system. I mean, I guess it is a convective system because of a lot of convection. Got the name of these little thunderstorms that fire up like that. So, they want to talk a little bit about severe weather, so I'm going to turn off all my tropical stuff so I don't have all this extra stuff running on in the background. Okay. When coming in and looking at severe weather, we want to take a look at the convective outlooks. So the biggest amount of severe weather is going to be up here where they have an enhanced risk, as you can see right up here. I'm also going to turn off my satellite imagery. A little bit better. This is the area. I'm going to put this on pause. We do have a few thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings in this area. One of those of which are already making its way in the hatched orange area. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. There it is. I'm going to turn on the radar, and I'm going to just sort of talk a little bit about what we could see with the severe thunderstorm warning right here. So I need a radar site. Is that this closest one? That's the closest one. And I'm also going to turn off this, go back to this control panel, this. So as you can see, there is in fact hail in this system. Well, that line of thunderstorms right there, very, very concentrated right in this small area. There's probably huge amounts of hail. Look how high it goes all the way to nearly 70 decibels, which is extremely heavy rain. Is really where we're going to have the hail pour right in this area most likely, and where I think we're going to have the most intense weather. So we take a look at this, you can see the general direction that it is going. It is moving to the northeast at 57 degrees at 49 miles an hour. This is a half an inch of hail diameter, so it doesn't have catastrophic hail. And this is pretty far away from the hail, from the radar site, so it's probably even smaller than what they're actually showing. I think that this storm is certainly going to continue to intensify. I don't have my lightning on, so I don't exactly know how much lightning is in a specific storm, and that tells us usually the best in terms of hail. So as you can see, this hail cell right here, up to 1.5 inch hail diameter, it is moving at a pretty quick pace at 59 miles an hour. I am most worried that this seems to be moving towards La Crosse and Onalaska, and I don't think they're major cities at all, but I think they're decently populated. All of these towns, I think, have a decent population. So if we take a look, you can see hail size, winds even gusting up to 60 miles an hour, so damaging winds. That's also certainly a possibility. So really, if we take a look in this area right, this is going to work with me. Right here, this is going to move in this general direction. And this is going to move in this general direction, so really anything, right here is going to have to worry about the development of these cells. We do have a little bit of rotation down here. It's always in the southern portions of these storms where we get the rotating storms. I'm going to continue to talk about rotation in this base velocity. There does appear to be a little bit of velocity going on down here. Can't see 50, 60 miles per hour. Certainly some pretty strong winds with this severe thunderstorm warning. 50 to 60 mile per hour winds going towards the radar site, so it's coming in this general direction. I'm wondering, does this turn into a tornado? What does this turn into? This could be rather more serious than anything else. By the way, these are the times of when this storm is going to approach these areas. 16 minutes will be in Cresco, 31 minutes in Canton, 39 minutes in Mabel, and then 47 minutes in Spring Grove. This is going to be moving from Iowa into southern Minnesota, and then eventually possibly into Michigan. Yeah, that's Michigan. No, this is Michigan. This is Illinois. This is Wisconsin. This is Minnesota. This is Wisconsin. This is Michigan. Okay. I forgot my states for a split second. But that's what we're looking at right now. This is a pretty intense system right here with up to 1.5 inch hail diameter. Pretty interesting and almost kind of scary to see. If anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to comment any questions or concerns you have. They're now saying hail is now up to 2 inches in diameter. The storm is continuing to intensify, like I was saying earlier. I was seeing signs. We're starting to see a little bit. I actually want to see if we can see convection in this. And do this. That's way too blurry.
Oh, that's why. I need to just do this.
It's not super high resolution. Could be worse, I guess. More rotation up here. A little bit slightly concerning. I do want to just see this entire thunderstorm or the past several hours, just so we have an idea of kind of it's what we're looking at, because I do think a lot of this energy is still from daytime heating from yesterday, and once we get around 1800 UTC is really when we're going to see these thunderstorms intensify a lot more, and when that enhanced risk is going to become much more obvious, and we may even see moderate risk. That wouldn't be a surprise either. So you can see the storm did die down a little bit, but we are seeing a little burst of convection there at the end, relatively small. But nevertheless, we do have an enhanced risk up in this part. And yeah, heavy rain and flooding. Flooding is not going to be a concern because this is moving at like 60 miles an hour. This is moving just so rapidly and so quickly. This line of thunderstorms is continuing to move up to 2-inch hail diameter. Pretty big hail, if you ask me. 2-inch hail diameter is definitely going to do some damage. The possibility of hail is 100%, and then you have the possibility of severe hail is already there at 80%. So severe hail is really going to be very, very likely with this storm. Lots of heavy rain with this. Very, very intense rain. Pretty big hail. This system I'm pretty concerned about because it has been severe thunderstorm warned. We don't have any other storms, I don't think, in the entire country that have been severe thunderstorm warned. I am seeing some rotation up here. I want to take a look at what we're looking at with this rotation. Just kind of curious about it. I do also want to look at more stuff about hail, just simply because this is certainly seems to be, because this is a severe thunderstorm warning down here. They're saying up to 1-inch hail diameter, but we're already getting reports that up to 2-inch, well, according to the radar, up to 2-inch hail diameter is possible. And look at this behind it. We got this system trying to develop right behind it also. Did have some rotation up here. Doesn't seem to really be there anymore. Oh, I was wondering when this was going to pop up. Sure took a while for this to pop up. Gotta fix that. Not liking that at all. But that is what we have right now. the now up to 3-inch hail diameter. That storm has really begun intensifying a lot more now. Now that we're seeing up to 3 hail-inch diameter, which is really freaking big. 3-inch hail diameter. Cresco is not too far away from this storm. Yeah. And if we come up here, this seems like it's going to be gonna miss it, but that hail is just freaking massive. 3-inch hail diameter. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? If anyone does, feel free to go in the chat and comment your questions. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions anyone has. So this is what we're looking at right now with this. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Iowa, northeast Iowa right now. It is producing hail of up to 3 inches in diameter. We do have some more thunderstorms up here that do produce hail, but they're not as severe as this one down here. The only reason I'm covering this one is it is pretty intense. With 3-inch hail diameter, we do have some rotation down here. And I'm just closely monitoring its development because it is, going to be going through some towns. I'm going to just turn this on right here, just so we have an idea of where this entire storm is really going to head towards. So it is going to take less than an hour just to, it's not too long from now. It's going to be making its way into southern, is that Minnesota and Wisconsin. So eventually it's going to make its way into Wisconsin, but soon it's going to make its way into Minnesota. So that's what we have right now. Very, very big system right here. Big amounts of hail. Now, probability of severe hail is now at 100%. So I want to take a look at the mean estimated hail size so we get an idea of kind of generally hail size. What are we looking at? Hail size is going to be pretty big if it wants to work. It's glitching on me. Probability of severe hail isn't working either. Oh, we have a special weather statement going on up here. We just got this, I guess, classifier. Odd how this is just not working. That's not working, so I'm going to get right into continue talking about the radar, because obviously this other stuff is just not going to work. It's just not. And wait for this to sort of load up and refresh. So yeah, there is the hail. It is weakening a little bit, which is good news. Good news, it is hailing a little. The hail has come down now, only about 2.5 inches in diameter. So the good news is the hail is becoming less intense. Bad news is there's still hail. Regardless, you don't want hail. It doesn't matter how big it is. Hail is never a good sign. The special weather statement up here does have, it's moving pretty quick. You can see here, this system down here, it's clipping along at around 50 miles an hour. That is the great news about these storms, is they don't stick around. They blow through pretty quickly. And so the storms are moving 50 to 60 miles an hour. They're not going to be sticking around for long. I'm going to come down here and take a look at this. 2-inch hail diameter still, which is good. Coming down a little bit. This back here has weakened a little bit. There isn't a lot of strong, although you can kind of certainly see that wind right through here. Pretty strong wind right in this area. 40 to 50 mile per hour straight line winds. 49, 48, 49. So I'd say between 40 and 50 mile per hour winds is definitely possible with this line of thunderstorms. Really, the southern part of it seems to be the most intense. So that special weather segment, it's going to bring some pretty intense storms. Not as bad as what we're seeing down here. We're seeing up to 2.5, almost 3-inch hail diameter. Up here we are seeing some more convection, a little bit more smaller hail cores trying to develop in this general part of the system. So I do think really right here and right in here is where we could have hail cores try to develop as they move in this general direction. Not a whole lot other severe weather going on. We're going to continue to give y'all updates on this and any other severe weather that happens across the United States. With that said, does anyone have any other comments, questions, or concerns? So I'm going to try one more time with this, the hail map, because that is the biggest threat right now, I think, is not going to be flooding, because right now if there were, well, actually, are there any flood watches? This is going to take a minute because there's so much for it to load, but in the chance that there are any flood watches, I do want to talk about everything. Alright, see what we got going on down here. Severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning. Special weather statement. This is a special weather statement, by the way, y'all, in case y'all were interested in what it was saying. So, this is for Fillmore, Houston, and Winona. I don't know what state this is. I think this is let me just double check, because I want to double check and make sure I have the correct states up. Okay, so wow, there's a lot. Heat advisories, special weather statements. I'm just going to talk a little bit about this special weather statement right here. Alright. So here's what they're saying. Pretty big weather statement. Strong thunderstorms over southeast Minnesota at around 10:40 a.m. Central Time. At 10:40 a.m. Central Time, the public reported dime to quarter-sized hail near Fountain at 10:35 a.m. Strong thunderstorms were near Rushford at 14 miles or southwest of Weona, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. The hazard is nickel-sized hail. It's public. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible. So here are the locations that are expected to be impacted in this area. Weona, Preston, Holman, Goodview, Rushford, Lewiston, Sherman Plow, Galesville, Fountain City, Lanesboro, Stockton, Fountain, Bryce, Prairie, Dodge, Rushford Village, Wilson, Chagora, Ettrick, Hart, and Fremont. So if you live in any of these regions, any of these towns, just be prepared to for hail damage to occur. There could be up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So if you live in these areas, make sure if the power goes out, usually prepare for the power to go out. Prepare for hail damage. If there's strong winds, prepare for that. Make sure you don't have any loose things in your yard that could blow around. Make sure all your umbrellas are down. If you have have a table with an umbrella in it, make sure it's down so it doesn't blow away. That happened to me once almost. So make sure you kind of secure everything before the storm comes through. I do want to just continue to talk about. So the hail size with this is about just over 3/4 of an inch of hail, 0.88 inches, with maximum wind gusts exceeding 30 miles an hour. So 30-mile-an-hour winds really aren't going to do a whole lot, but could certainly blow some light furniture, not light furniture, but could just certainly blow around some stuff. Yeah. Now this storm, alright, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Alright, this one's a little bit more severe and a little bit more serious. First thing is what they're saying is maximum wind gusts is up to 60 miles per hour. Hail size is up to 1 inch in diameter. Hail threat has been observed. So they are saying there is hail in this system. There is hail falling from this convective system, this line of thunderstorms. There we go. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for La Crosse, Wisconsin at 10:52 a.m. Central Time, Wednesday, June 15, 2022. The severe thunderstorm warning for this Windsheet County in northeastern Iowa. So at 10:51 a.m. Central Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Line Springs to near Provincton, moving east at about 50 miles an hour. Again, that's one of the things I want to continue to emphasize. These storms are moving quick, 50 miles an hour. They're bringing up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. The law enforcement in this area has reported nickel-sized hail in Alta Vista and some pockets of minor wind damage since 10:30 in the morning. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, sidings, and trees. So this system, this storm, I'm more worried about because it is bringing significantly stronger winds. The other storm is only bringing up to 30-mile-an-hour winds. This is bringing up to 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. The severe thunderstorm, by the way, has been extended eastward as the storm continues to move at a pretty quick pace. That seems to be weakening a little bit, which is good. So right now, that is close to what we're talking about. We do have this other line of thunderstorms trying to set up behind it. We're going to closely monitor this over the next several hours, but right now this is really what we're watching. Kind of noticing how it bows out like this means I do think the winds are blasting at 50 to 60 miles an hour down here. Usually when you get winds strong like that, it actually changes the structure of the storm a little bit and gets this bow look. And that is really where you can see those super powerful winds of, super powerful, but up to definitely tropical storm force, almost hurricane force, gusting about 60 or so miles per hour. That is gonna do it for us today. Thank you all for sticking around and watching my stream. If y'all would like more content, feel free to like this stream, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, and we will talk to y'all at 1800 UTC on our latest update on the severe weather and the tropics. Stay safe, everyone, and peace out.